是华人网与文美教育集团联合制作播出的北美首档大型的网络直播教育节目。在我们的节目当中，你将会了解到最新最权威的教育资讯，还有升学的建议。无论您是学生还是家长，有任何的美国升学教育问题，都可以给我们留言，我会请嘉宾来解答您的问题。文美集团是美国著名的大学申请及规划辅导机构，20年规划经验，全网200万加粉丝关注万博士教育讲座，在美国洛杉矶、纽约、芝加哥等12个城市设有服务中心，为广大华人子女提供教育服务。文美集团专注于12年级名校申请及6到11年级大学提早规划服务，教育学博士加常春藤名校面试官顾问团队，中美双顾问模式，为6到12年级学生提供最好最全方位的大学规划服务。欢迎大家扫码关注文美官方微信公众号，若和文美的客服互动，请添加微信号文美集团的全拼音。文美的咨询热线是18887890942。今天在我线上的依然是文美集团的教育总监万博士。万博士好。
主持人好，华人网的观众朋友们大家好。
好的，下面我们有请文美集团的美籍顾问，康奈尔大学的面试官 Mr. 皮尔先生。
Hi everyone, this is Pierre for WinMei. Today we are going to be talking about approaching the college admissions process, a comprehensive guide for top schools. So what I was going to say is I've been getting some questions, obviously from seniors this year and their parents, about specific things about the application process, like for example, how to handle like getting teacher recommendations and stuff like that. So I wanted to make a video where I basically outline how you should be approaching the college admissions process, like the types of things you have to get done and kind of like the order that you should be getting them done in. We're going to be covering the Common App, the UC app, as well as international applications. So as an admissions counselor for WinMei, it's essential to provide high school students with a clear strategic approach to navigating the college applications process, especially for highly competitive institutions like the Ivy League, top US universities, and international schools. This process can be overwhelming, but with proper guidance, students can craft standout applications that showcase their unique strengths and passions. In this video, we're going to break down 3 major application systems: the Common App, the University of California application, which is the UC app, and international applications, and provide specific checklists, strategies, and case studies for each. So the first case we're going to talk about is the Common App. The Common Application is widely used by more than 900 colleges and universities across the US, including all the Ivy League schools and many other prestigious institutions like Stanford and Duke. It allows students to apply to multiple schools through one platform, streamlining the process. So that's kind of like the basic idea behind Common App. So now we're going to talk about the checklist for Common App. Number 1, create a Common App account. Start early to familiarize yourself with the platform. So on this specific thing, I believe WinMei handles the creation of the account as well as the data input. And then later on, you are granted access so you can verify things. Step 2 is fill in personal information. So input your name, address, and other general details. So this is something that's going to be on the application itself. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Step 3 is academic records. Gather and enter your high school transcripts, test scores, if applicable, and GPA. So you have to send official documents. In other words, official high school transcripts, official test scores, and things like that. It can't be unofficial. Or just self-reported. You have to have both in most cases. Number 4, which is really important, is letters of recommendation. Request letters from 2 teachers and 1 counselor. Make sure your recommendations are coming from people that know your academic strengths and personal qualities. Number 5 is activities and honors. Complete the activities section listing your extracurriculars, leadership roles, and awards. And of course, this is something that we work on extensively at WinMei during the meetings, especially for people that are rising seniors. Number 6 is write the personal statement. Craft a unique, reflective essay that highlights your character and life experiences, 650 word max. So in this case, this is also something that we help with. We have specialists that will be handling the essay process. Number 7, complete supplemental essays. Schools like Harvard and Princeton have additional essay prompts that require thoughtful, specific answers. So we talked about that in the last meeting. Number 8, choose colleges. Select the colleges you want to apply to and review their specific requirements. So you basically have to make a college list and go a little bit deeper than just listing the names. You have to look at what types of documents are needed, what type of things you're supposed to do. I believe there's some schools where you have to do like a video interview, for example. I think Brown does that. So you need to make sure that you know what you're up against. In other words, you know everything you need to get done. Number 9 is pay application fees. Ensure all application fees are paid. Waivers may be available for those who qualify. So that's also part of the process, making sure that you're able to get all those fees taken care of. And then number 10 is finally submit the application. Double check all sections before submitting. Deadlines typically fall around January 1st for regular decision, but early decision deadlines are usually November 1st. So at WinMay, we specify and emphasize getting things done early. So that way they can be done and reviewed and given feedback for and basically perfected. So that way you have the highest quality application possible. So if anything, you would want to treat it like if you're basically applying for early decision, even if you're not. So you kind of want to have your application materials ready by November 1st. But, you know, if like that was the deadline, but, you know, you want to, you'll still have time to work on it after if you're not doing early decision, for example. But the point is to get everything done by then. So then you're ahead of the curve, and then you can actually work on specific things. And like, for example, bringing up your test scores, you know, taking the December SAT, for example, stuff like that. Okay, so now we're talking about a case study, applying to an Ivy League school, in this case, Princeton University. So student profile, student with a strong background in STEM and a deep passion for social justice applies to Princeton through the Common App. So their application strategy, the student used their personal statement to highlight their work in robotics and how it led them to develop technology that would improve accessibility for disabled individuals. In their supplemental essays, they explain why Princeton's emphasis on service resonated with their goals of combining engineering and social impact. They demonstrated a deep understanding of Princeton's academic and community-focused culture by referencing specific professors and research projects that align with their interests. Result, the students' combination of academic rigor, passion, and a clear sense of fit with Princeton's values led to their acceptance. So in other words, you have to do your due diligence, you have to do the work, you have to do your research. These things take time. Essentially, every single part of the application takes time to do, so you don't want to rush it, because if not, then the results will reflect that. University of California application, so the UC app is the next one. The UC application is used for all 9 UC schools, including UC Berkeley and UCLA, which are among the top public universities in the world. Unlike the Common App, the UC app does not have supplemental essays, but requires responses to personal insight questions, PIQs. Checklist for UC app. So number 1, create a UC application account. Begin early to navigate the platform. So again, this is something that we handle at WinMay for you. Number 2, input academic information and to enter all courses taken in grades 9 through 12 along with grades received. So this is the self-reporting part of the application that's also different from Common App. Common App, they'll specify if you need to report anything versus UC app, it's required. Number 3, personal insight questions, PIQs. Respond to 4 of 8 prompts, 350 words each. Focusing on personal experiences and how you've grown. So again, that's also something that's distinct from the Common App. You have 4 prompts to respond to instead of 1. Number 4, activities and awards. List extracurricular activities, honors, and leadership positions. Very similar to the Common App, except you have 20. You have room for 20 activities and awards. So it's basically double. So, you want to make sure that you have that number. You don't want to leave anything blank. Number 5, standardized test scores. UC schools have gone test optional, so include test scores if they strengthen your application. So what we say at WinMay essentially is if you have a good score, include it. If you don't, then you might consider omitting it. Number 6, select campuses. Choose which of the 9 UC campuses to apply to. So we obviously recommend applying to more than one UC, so you increase your chances of getting into one. And then number 7 is just submit the application. Submit before November 30th, the deadline for all UC schools. Now we're going to look at a case study. So case study applying to UC Berkeley. Student profile, student interested in environmental science with a strong academic record and leadership experience applies to UC Berkeley. The student used their PIQs to highlight their experience leading an environmental awareness group in high school, organizing cleanup efforts, and lobbying for sustainable practices in their community. They also discussed how UC Berkeley's unique environmental science program, coupled with its activist culture, align with their career goals. The result, the students' clear alignment with UC Berkeley's values and strengths, combined with their demonstrated leadership, led to their acceptance. So now we're going to go on to the more complicated case. And I'm covering this information, of course, because there are students, international students, that will be applying to countries, to colleges in countries that are outside of the US, obviously. So this is mostly for them. But, it's still interesting to compare and contrast the application process for US colleges and universities. So some of the schools will be like Oxford, Cambridge, and Canadian universities. For students applying to international universities like Oxford, Cambridge, or top Canadian institutions like the University of Toronto, the application process can differ significantly from US schools. These universities often focus more heavily on academic achievements and may require standardized tests or interviews. Checklist for international applications. Research requirements. Each country and university has different academic requirements, such as A levels for the UK or IB for Canada. Transcripts and predicted grades. Submit official academic records and predicted grades. Number 3, standardized tests. UK schools may require admissions tests, for example, the BMAT, the PAT, while Canadian universities may look at SAT and ACT. Personal statement. This is going to be for the UK, focused on academic interests and why you're a good fit for the program. Number 5, references. Request references from teachers or counselors familiar with your academic work. Number 6, interviews. This will be for UK. So some universities like Oxford and Cambridge require interviews for their programs. Number 7, apply via UCAS or direct application. UK universities use UCAS, while Canadian universities have their own application platforms. Case study, applying to Oxford, in this case, a law program. Student profile, a student with a strong academic background and a deep interest in law applies to Oxford University. Application strategy. The student wrote a personal statement detailing their academic interest in constitutional law and human rights, referencing books they've read and independent research they conducted. They prepared for and took the LNAT, Law National Aptitude Test, achieving high scores. Additionally, they practiced for the Oxford interview, during which they discussed current legal issues in depth. Result, the student's academic excellence, performance on the LNAT, and interview preparation earned them a spot at Oxford. So now we're going to move on to admissions strategy. So developing a strategy for success when approaching the college admissions process. Especially for top schools, developing a clear strategic approach is essential. Here are several tips to maximize chances of success. Number 1, start early. Starting early allows students to explore application platforms, begin drafting essays, and gather necessary materials without the pressure of looming deadlines. Number 2, tailor each application. For Common App schools, students may tailor supplemental essays to show why they're a good fit for that specific college. For UC schools, the PIQs must reflect individual growth and passion. International applications should emphasize subject-specific achievements. Number 3, research the schools. It's critical to understand each school's culture, mission, and academic programs. This allows students to align their essays and extracurriculars with what each school values. So you have to do the due diligence, you have to do the work, the research. Build your college list. Number 4, extracurriculars and leadership. Competitive schools seek students who have demonstrated leadership, commitment, and passion. Strong extracurricular activities, particularly those involving community service, leadership, or deep involvement, can set students apart. And number 5, leverage resources. Summer programs at prestigious universities, internships, and research opportunities provide significant advantages. Engaging with open courseware such as MIT's, attending summer programs for credit, or auditing online courses like CS50 at Harvard can provide academic exposure beyond high school and demonstrate a commitment to learning. So other things would be like dual enrollment. At WinMay, we have programs for leadership, volunteering, as well as research, which we've talked about in videos in the past. And in closing, I'd like to say that navigating the college admissions process for top schools can be daunting, but with a clear strategy, thorough research, and strong applications, students can maximize their chances of acceptance, whether applying through the Common App, UC App, or to international institutions. A well-rounded approach that showcases academic excellence, leadership, and authentic passion is the key to success. Through careful planning and strong support system, students can confidently approach this process and achieve their academic dreams. So with that, I hope that you found this helpful and you can use that to guide the college admissions process and how to get specific things done. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
感谢皮尔先生的分享。如果有任何问题，大家还是可以继续来咨询文美集团。文美集团是美国著名的大学申请及规划辅导机构，20年规划经验，全网200万加粉丝关注万博士教育讲座，在美国洛杉矶、纽约、芝加哥等12个城市设有服务中心，为广大华人子女提供教育服务。文美集团专注于12年级名校申请及6到11年级大学提早规划服务，教育学博士加常春藤名校面试官顾问团队，中美双顾问模式，为6到12年级学生提供最好最全方位的大学规划服务。欢迎大家扫码关注文美官方微信公众号，若和文美的客服互动，请添加微信号文美集团的全拼音。文美的咨询热线是18887890942。感谢您收看我们今天的节目，我们下期见。